only are the Dodgers and Phillies battling it out for playoff positioning, they will likely have the top two finishers in the MVP race. Kyle Schwarber having quite the contract year, hitting .244, leads the National League with the 52 homers and 127 RBIs. Shohei, on the other hand, leading the National League with an OPS just over 1,000 and also National League best 135 runs scored, 49 homers, 93 RBIs. And because Shohei Ohtani is also pitching this season, he is the heavy, and I mean heavy, favorite to win the National League MVP for the second straight season. Nomar, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing, where he's hitting at a high level and also pitching at a high level, he's probably going to be the top choice every single year as long as he's playing this game. But Kyle Schwarber is having a great year and pushing him.
He is having a great year. The Phillies are having a good year. They're one game away from clinching the division. He's a big part and a big key to their success. What he provides in that lineup, where he drives the ball out of the ballpark, but he also is an RBI machine as well. So he is scoring some runs. Shohei Ohtani, you know what he's, as Dodger fans, we get to watch that on a regular basis, and then now seeing him on the mound as well. Yeah, we're watching a special player. We all know that. That's why he's going to be MVP year after year if he continues doing what he's doing, especially on the offensive side. I think what we saw last year was so special, but I also think it was a big step for him on the offensive side, learning about himself, which is carried over into this year, and then seeing what he does on the mound. But nonetheless, not taking anything away what Schwarber has done over there for the Phillies.
I absolutely love Kyle Schwarber. I mean, he's a throwback player, and that's a huge compliment to him. He's a guy that could play in any era, and he is deserving of MVP because he gets those key hits, key home runs, and key runs scored. Over 100 runs scored for Schwarber, 127 RBIs to go 52 home runs. That said, he's going up against Michael Jordan. That's who Shohei Ohtani is, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the best scorer and the best defender for a long time in the NBA. Shohei Ohtani is one of the best hitters and one of the best pitchers in the major leagues, which is something we have never seen before. So that'll be tough sledding for Schwarber to get that MVP. Now, said it best, too. He's on a first-place ball club. They're going to win their division. So I think he's going to get a lot of votes because he led that team to that division. But it'd be tough going up against, like I said, Michael Jordan, the way Shohei Ohtani does on the defensive end as a pitcher, as well as on the offensive end as a hitter.
Yeah, it'll be really tough. You know, those RBIs that you have, Kyle Schwarber, that also, because where he hits in the lineup, I think if they moved Shohei, he'd have a lot more driving in. I mean, he had close to 100. Half of them he's driven in himself, right, just because of the home runs, but doesn't come up as much with guys on base, so that definitely affects it. But nonetheless, can't take away what either of these guys are doing right now out there, having tremendous years.
And Shohei became the first designated hitter to ever win the MVP last season, and it took a 50-50 season for him to do it. Kyle Schwarber is a DH for the Phillies, so another reason why he probably won't get as much support as Shohei Ohtani does. Jerry, Shohei extended his on-base streak to 19 games yesterday with a bloop single in the ninth inning in San Francisco. He's walked 17 times during this streak. He's scored 15 runs. When you have your leadoff hitter, it's not always hitting it out of the ballpark. When he's just getting on base, that creates a lot of opportunities for everybody else behind him.
He certainly had that magic walk yesterday, sitting on an 0 for 6, and the sun got in the way. But more importantly, Shohei Ohtani, he's making a conscious effort with 2 strikes to making sure he goes to his Ichiro swing to put the ball in play. And then when he gets something to drive, he's hammering it and hit it out of the ballpark. He's not just a power guy. He is a complete hitter, and he's now really starting to be conscious of cutting down on the strikeouts. I think Shohei Ohtani, he said it last year, he wants to be known as a complete hitter. In order to be a complete hitter, you have to cut down on your strikeouts, and he's made a conscious effort these last week to 10 days to limit those strikeouts.
I hope so, because when he does, he is a different hitter. The numbers, the power numbers, they're going to be there because of how big and how strong he is. But over the course of this season, the fact that he's already matched his entire total from last year as far as strikeouts and the swing and miss, I think we see that when you're like looking at him, like, was he more consistent last year as compared to this year? It feels that way because I think he's put the ball in play more last year than this year, swung and miss. But the fact that he's making more of a conscious effort if he's doing that, it makes a world of difference because we know he doesn't even have to take a big swing. He barely puts it, and that ball just jumps off his bat. He is a different type of hitter, a special hitter. But at the same time, if you are at the top of the lineup, lineup, what do you want the guys at the top of your lineup to do?
Yeah.
You want them to get on base, and you want them to score runs. He has done exactly that. Gotten on base and has scored runs.
Yep, he's a dangerous guy to have in that lineup for the Dodgers. And if the playoff seedings hold, the Dodgers and Phillies could potentially see each other in 3 weeks in the National League Division Series. So maybe there'll be a little extra scouting going on over these next 3 days. As we send it back inside, check in once again with Kirsten Watson. Joins us live with more. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Yeah, both sides will definitely be taking in as much information as they can from this series. Dave Roberts earlier today, he talked about that if there's going to be a little bit of a cat and mouse in the game in this one because they could be seeing each other in the NLDS, as you mentioned. And he also talked about when you look at just the offensive results yesterday, the team had 18 hits, 10 runs. Of those 10 runs, none of them came from the long ball. There were no home runs in that game yesterday. Dave Roberts talked about today, if it's sinking in right now, how reliable this team can be if they continue to string these hits together, if they have to rely on the long ball or if they don't.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and then I think with that, you can still get some slug. So I think so. And again, like, what we did with Webb, this is sort of like, Webb from the left side. And so you got to kind of have that sort of mindset. But I think our guys understand that.
Is there any kind of cat and mouse stuff that goes on gamesmanship? Like you don't want them to see this, but you want them to think about that? Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I think with where we're at, I'm trying to win every game. So I don't think that we have the luxury of kind of, playing that game right now.
Dave, how important is the number 2 seed to you at this point?
Alden, I think it's we're going to try to win as many games as we can. And where it falls out is where it falls out. So, I don't even think it matters for me to say how important it is or, how not valuable. I just kind of just want to just win games and see where it all plays out.
So Dave Roberts, as well as the guys on the team, they have made it very clear with only 13 games left in the regular season, their focus, it's not about seeding, it's just about winning as many games as possible moving forward, guys.
All right, Kirsten, thank you very much. Still a lot more to come here from Dodger Stadium on a warm but beautiful Monday evening. Shohei Ohtani isn't the only Dodger with a 19-game on-base streak. Mookie Betts has one as well, and with Bo Bichette currently on the IL, Mookie and Shohei have the longest active streaks in the majors right now. More on Mookie coming up. Plus, Freddie Freeman's on pace to lead the National League in doubles for the 5th time in his career. He's also climbing up the all-time doubles leaderboard, catching Manny Wood yesterday.
Bullpen in the postseason.
Well, he's done it before, and we know they don't like going through the lineup 3 times, so there's a potential of Emmett might be able to go deeper into the game because of not hitting those lefties at the top of that lineup.
All right, it's another huge series here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers and Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch is coming up right after the break.
Schwarber homered in the Phillies' win over the Royals on Saturday, his 51st of the year, while Ohtani hit his 49th home run of the season on Saturday against the Giants. Then Schwarber hit number 52 in yesterday's loss to the Royals. Schwarber is 6 home runs shy of Ryan Howard's Phillies record of 58 in 2006. Make the call. Presented by Pansini and Pizzica. Ricky Bo with 12 games remaining. Who gets your vote for National League MVP?
Well, because I see him all year, I'm going to go with Kyle Schwarber. Who I think's going to win it is Shohei Ohtani. I didn't think at this point during the season that it would be this close. I really didn't. I thought Schwarber was going to take off, especially in late August into the beginning of September. He didn't necessarily pull far enough away from Ohtani. I think it's going to be close, but because Ohtani plays every day, I think that's going to be a problem for Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, except that this is Kyle Schwarber's chance to overtake Shohei Ohtani because Ohtani has struggled against the Phillies. He was 1 for 11 with 5 strikeouts in a 3-game series at CBP in April. He hit .227 in 6 games against the Phillies last season, 5 hits and 22 at-bats. That's a total of 6 for 33 the last 2 years, 182. Ben, what's been the secret to the Phillies' success against Shohei Ohtani?
He just seems like he's really pulling off the baseball when he faces the Phillies for whatever reason. He didn't do well when he came in here with the Angels either. He or Mike Trout But I think that with Ohtani, he just seems to be overswinging, pulling off the baseball, trying to crush everything out to right field. I think they try and make Ohtani beat them away. Now, yes, he's a line-to-line guy, just like Kyle Schwarber, he can take you out anywhere. But until he starts to beat you to left field, just keep living out there. You might want to rush him underneath just to keep him honest every now and again, but make him beat you to left field. He just seems to be pulling off the baseball against the Phillies, and they've really had his number.
Let him know you're there. Let him know you're there.
I hope so. Let's go on the field, presented by Bush Auto Group. Billy rides with us. Ranger Suarez prepares for his 24th start of the season. It'll be his first start against the Dodgers this season. He began on the IL with a back injury beginning of the season, so he did not pitch against LA in April at Citizens Bank Park. Ricky Bo, what's priority number one for Ranger Suarez against that high-powered Dodgers lineup?
Get ahead with quality strikes. I mean, you see Ranger, he looks very tense and tight tonight. I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, talk about a guy who's just kind of ready. Let's get the game going. I mean, but you get ahead early in the counts, at least you could play with these guys a little bit. And I think Ruben's right. I think they're going to be able to find one or two pitches that could put this team away all night long. I mean, you're not even sure what it's going to be right now. And if we're not sure, and we've seen the video and we saw what he did in his last game, I'm sure the Dodgers aren't feeling very comfortable right now.
Have you seen a pitcher lately that pitches like Ranger with the flair for the dramatic, the confidence, the verve, the panache? He's got a real style.
He does, and he just really believes in himself. He believes in his stuff. He'll pitch to contact, or he has the ability to punch tickets and get those strikeouts. 12 in that last outing versus the Mets. He was phenomenal, but I think he trusts himself so much to say, you know what, here it is, hit it. If you hit it, you're better than me, but I don't think you're going to be. And he trusts himself.
Do the Phillies clinch it tonight?
With Ranger, yes.
They do.
They do.
Ricky Bo.
They better.
That's not a they do.
They better.
They better is not a they do.
Done.
My word. Give me a they do.
They do. Yes, they do.
They do. That's a wrap for Toyota Pregame Live. For Ricky and Ben, I'm Michael B. Phillies and Dodgers up next. We'll see you postgame live.
I thought it was both offenses fought all night. You know, I thought Emmett pitched a heck of a ball game. I thought that, you know, he was competing all night, maybe not with his best fastball. I thought the fastball command was really good. I think his velocity overall was down tonight. I thought, you know, he left everything he had tonight. I liked where we were at with how we left the game. And we just didn't, you know, Jack had an off night, got behind hitters, and then obviously gave in to, you know, that 9-hitter. And, but, you know, after that, I thought offensively, Mookie, huge hit. Page's huge hit. I thought, you know, Alex Call took a great at bat to get us in a good spot. But, you know, you got to give credit to those guys. Those guys had some big hits as well. You know, I thought Banda's was a good pitch. I thought it was maybe a little bit elevated, but it was away, and Schwarber, you know, one-hand swing, hits a homer. I thought the Harper ball, 1-2, I think the count was, and it was a ball above the zone against Vesia. And then the Dryer, he just fell behind. He was behind all night, and then 2-0, and you know, threw a fastball down the middle. So, yeah, and you know, in that 10th inning, you know, they do a double steal and get into a situational situation there, and Realmuto puts a good at bat to hit it just deep enough into right field to score the winning run.
Schwarber and Harper are both pretty good against left. Is that just byproduct going to as many lefties as you did, just kind of byproduct of where the bullpen is at and sort of match you still like him despite some of their success?
I think it's a little bit of. Yeah, I mean, I think that I still like the guys that we had on them. I wouldn't say Harper's better versus left.
Well, not that really good.
Yeah. I think that you're talking about the guys that we really, you know, those guys were rested, ready to go, and I had the guys that I wanted, and you know, that doesn't always work out, you know, even with that.
We've talked about the bullpen an awful lot lately. Do you go to bed at night worrying about it still, knowing how important it's going to be in the postseason?
You know, it's just trying to, you know, see which guys step up, you know, with opportunities. I thought, you know, Tanner, for example, the last 2 outings have been very good, and it's really good to see. So, you know, just kind of trying to figure out, you know, who's gonna, like I said, who's gonna seize the opportunity. So they're gonna continue to get opportunities, and you know, see how it plays out.
In hindsight, the way Sheehan pitched, would you have rather him just started the game after knowing that?
You know, you just don't know. No, I think that's, I mean, obviously in hindsight, if I would have known Bryce or Schwarber's going to hit a homer, but it still got us into the 7th inning. And, you know, when Emmett came out of the game, we had a 2-run lead. So I felt we still prevented runs, you know, up until that point.
On the bright side, is it good to see him come out of the pen, if that might be his role in the playoffs?
Yeah, it was good. And Emmett's a guy that he's just unfazed by anything. He's in a great spot for a youngish player. He's very mature and very confident.
Look at this game, just the back and forth nature, just kind of what you expected from this, whether it's 2 talented teams or potential postseason matchup.
Yeah, you know, we fought good. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on top, but, you know, we didn't give up, and I feel like that was a big thing for us. We got out to a lead, they fought back, and then we were able to keep calling back into it.
How important was it just to start the way that you guys did, calling against Rangers Suarez and just finding ways to get to him?
Yeah, it was, you know, we did good off him. He's a guy that's given us a lot of fits in the past, and, you know, I thought we had a lot of really good at-bats, and, you know, at the end of the day, he's still one of the best command pitchers out there, and he does a really good job of mixing stuff, and, you know, I thought we did good getting good at-bats off him.
Max, not to criticize teammates, but you know how important the bullpen is going to be in the postseason. How frustrating is it to watch their struggles?
I mean, it's a tough question. You know, when you look tonight, the home runs that were given up, Schwarber hit one with one finger on the bat, basically. Harper hit one about 7 inches above the zone. You know, it's really hard to criticize them for making those pitches, and just really good hitters found a way to hit them out. It's frustrating just from a team perspective, but, you know, they've done a great job for us all year, and they're going to keep doing a great job.
You're probably going to see them in the playoffs. This series, this game, is there anything you take from that you might be able to use in a couple of weeks?
Personally, I don't necessarily think so. We've done that in the past where we've played teams right before we've seen them in the postseason, and you know, usually they do everything complete opposite. So there's not, you know, right now you're just trying to win a game. You're not really worried about what's ahead. You're trying to win the game tonight.
Your first homer since you came off the IL, how'd that feel for you tonight?
Yeah, it felt good. But unfortunately, I had some other bats where I didn't get the job done, and you know, I'm gonna go to bed tonight thinking more about those than the home run.
You okay on that last at bat? It looks like you didn't get out of the box or fell down.
Yeah, I stepped on home plate trying to get out of the box and just slipped. It's sometimes that happens.
Tomorrow in Game 2 of the series against the NL East champion Phillies. He's making his first start since going 3 2/3 innings in Baltimore. That was 10 days ago. In fact, Nomar's only pitched 1 time in the last 19 days. What are you hoping to see out of the big show tomorrow?
I want to see how sharp he is, especially after 10 days being off. If he's able to have that fastball command, it would be really important, and making sure he has the sharpness to his breaking ball. That's making sure he's not feeling, you know, out of sorts with his mechanics and being confident in that. So that'll be the one thing I'll be keen on.
Yeah, and he's going to be well rested. But remember, that start in Baltimore was an emergency start.
Yeah.
So he gave us those 3 innings plus. So hopefully he is sharp against a pretty good Phillies lineup.
Well, the Dodgers will try to bounce back tomorrow night, even up this series, and continue to push toward an NL West title. For Jerry, Nomar, and Kirsten, I'm John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow pregame at 6 o'clock.
All right, John, and it's that time of year where it starts to get dark a little bit earlier. The lights are on and time for first pitch. That means October is around the corner and a series fitting.